Week three has been really interesting. It's been a little bit volatile, it's been a little bit all over the place, but I'm sure you're interested in seeing the results, so let's jump straight into it. So welcome back to my sports betting case study where I'm looking at progressive staking and whether you can turn a loss into a profit just by changing how much you bet. If you haven't seen the previous weeks and want to know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, go back to week one as it's got all of the rules and the reasons behind the case study. But just a quick summary of what I'm doing. I've got the hypothesis that this will not work. I don't believe that progressive staking can work without a positive expectation, but I'm going about proving that actual thought. So the case study rules are the selections must have a negative expectation, which means that overall they should lose. There needs to be a higher number of bets that I can get through so that I can test this quickly, and with this case study in 3 weeks, I'm up to about 14,000 bets. And at a loss of $1,000, I will stop the case study and amend it and go through another test. So this is the third test which I've run through, and you'll see that the test 3 is currently showing minus $397. So it's not going too great, which is expected. And let's get into how that actually breaks down. So just a quick recap. Week one, we lost $131 over almost 5,000 bets. Week two, just completing the results from the last video, we ended up losing $82 over 5,116 bets. There was quite a few profitable days, but again, a really big losing day hit that one hard for the week and ended up being a loss. So week three, over the days it's been getting progressively worse. We've had a run of losers, which is increasing the bet sizes across a number of the parallel sequences which are running. And you can see there the last 5 days have been losses that have really added up, including on the 18th, which is still in progress, but is currently sitting at minus $103, which is a significant loss for a day, considering most other days are in the $40 or $50 or less range. It's also only over 300 bets, so it may recover a little bit over the rest of the day. But it is starting to climb in the losses as the bets get higher over the different sequences, and that's to be expected. It'll be interesting to see if they actually do recover now or if they continue to lose and we hit the $1,000 loss limit. So the current week results is only down $183. This is not too bad considering 103 came from one of those days. And this is over 4,318 bets, but the profit and loss there you can see is minus 4%, which is starting to get a bit high, which is above the average that we have been seeing. So overall, the results are that we're down minus $397, and that's over 14,284 bets, which is a very large test for most people. It's a good base of selections to prove that it was a negative expectation and whether the recovery would work. So I'm happy that it's going quite well for the testing. So we'll see where we end up. It's still in progress. We've still got $600 to play with, but as the bets get higher, obviously that could get eaten up fairly quickly. So the max bet size still hasn't increased. It's still at $26.55, which is reasonable. And the reason that we're getting the bigger losses these days is that there are more sequences which are in recovery, and therefore they may be somewhere between the $15 and $26 kind of bet size, and they're losing. So the amount which is sitting in the recovery for us to recover on those losing sequences is $521. Obviously, if we can recover all of that, we would be up by about $120. And still, the amount of parallel bets has remained at 274, which have occurred at one time, so that's not increasing at all. So I'll leave it there. It's just a quick update to give you an idea of how it's still progressing, and hopefully next week we start to recover something, and if we don't, I expect that we'll be losing at a much more rapid rate. So again, if you haven't seen the previous weeks, you can go back to week 1 and see the rules and the reasons behind why I'm doing this, but I'll leave it there and hope you have a profitable week punting. Thanks.